2020. So this becomes the initial. Now, if you say for the next one, if you say the source file or the source document is for a follow-up one, let's say you are saying this is follow-up one, here when you enter the follow-up, let's say you are entering a follow-up, I'll say significant. Here is the initial receipt date for the first follow-up. Can you see the number one here on the far left side? I'm trying to zoom this. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is follow-up one, and let's say you got follow-up one on 29th November. I'm just making this up. On 2020, this date is the initial receipt date for the follow-up receipt. Now, if someone asks you what is the initial receipt date of the initial report, this is the date for the initial report. But for a follow-up report, this is the date. Now, in that way, you can enter any number of follow-ups, like you can have 20 follow-ups. Let's say if it's the clinical trial case, you might have 10 to 15 follow-ups, and you can enter all the follow-ups here, all the 15 follow-ups, and the initial receipt date for each follow-up should be there. So the point to be noted is the initial receipt date of the initial report and the initial receipt date of the all the follow-up reports have to match the source document. I have to delete all this now because I did not enter the date. It's not allowing me to go to the tab. So the date that you're entering should always match the, let's say if I say this is follow-up one, I say 29th November 2020. So that is how you know this is the follow-up, this is the source document for follow-up one. In some companies, they will even ask you to say, I mean, just for their clarity, they'll say follow-up one. We say FUP is follow-up one source document. So even that you can do here, but the simplest way to avoid all this typing is to make this date match the general tab. So those are some of the things that you need to pay attention in the attachment section. Now, some companies don't even use this the bottom section of the additional information because it's not always you have to use this. But there are three simple and I would say three common ways of why companies, pharmaceutical companies or CROs would use this reference section. Is number one is if you want to refer two cases of the same patient. Let's say patient had two episodes of heart attacks or myocardial infarction in two different time periods, different hospitalization periods. You will enter two cases. So in that case, if you want to cross-link the case, that is the cross-reference or cross-link the case, then we would enter the case number here, or we would say that cross-reference, or I mean, we will put in the notes cross-reference case number or ID case number. Somehow we'll kind of put the case number because you already have the case number here. So if you want to know for this patient, 1231223, this is the patient reference randomization code or I mean the patient identifier here. So for this case, let's say if there is one more case, you may enter that case number here and say, cross-linking the case. That's number one way of using the references. The second way that you would use references, as I was telling you about XML file, is if you want to refer to a different company case. Let's say you are manufacturing a drug or you are developing a drug in clinical trials, and there are two companies partnering in developing the drug. If you want to talk about a different case that belongs to the other company based on your licensing agreement, the other word for licensing agreement is Safety Data Exchange Agreement. We call it SDEA, Safety Data Exchange Agreement. So based on that Safety Data Exchange Agreement, you may cross-link cases between the companies, and you again put the same case number here, and that case number may belong to the different database in that company. So you got to understand this comes between databases. It is just cross-linking the case number. So just in case if you want to say, okay, for this patient, is there a case in the other company, that is a case number that you need to refer to. And the last way that we use references is not between companies, but if you want to reference any case that is in the public database.